the scooter against these 4,000-pound stock cars? Not a good combo.
I'd say not. I think you're right there. Are we going green this time? Hey, we are. We're racing. We're bringing the green out. We're going at it right now for exclusive car and truck wash.
I mean, I've heard of economical racing, but a scooter?
Actually, I'm surprised you haven't thought of it.
Oh, maybe I did.
The early leader is the 42 car. That's Darrell Hines. And Chris Bowman, who started right behind him in the 4th spot, will come across the start-finish line on lap 1 in 2nd spot. The 42 of Hines leads lap 1. The 24 of Chris Thomas moved from the back to the front. So wait a minute now. The cool-looking cars are at the back. What the heck's going on with that?
Well, the back is showing of the 17 car.
How do you like those fins?
Pretty cool. Actually, cool race
did
car.
that so you could see the fins on there.
There you go.
Laps down, 4 to go, and the race is for first place. Chris Bowman in the 4B is up to 2nd spot, and at times looking like he's got what it takes to overtake the 42 car of Heinz. Heinz drifts up in the turn 4, and the big Chevy on the bottom stays there. And boy, he gets up inside the leader, but cannot make the pass stick this time. Well, the race for first place comes out of turn 4 right now. It's the 42 of Darrell Hines and the 4C of Chris Bowman. 3 to go. The 24 car of Chris Thomas. Oh, look at that. Ford Fairlane's caught up pretty good, but the 57 is 57 Chevy's a little ways off the pace, but don't forget he did a loop around on the front straightaway. With 2 laps to go, we got a 4-car race for first place.
You're right, Pat. That number 9 is flying on the high side of turn 1 and 2, and that 66 Fairlane looking pretty strong.
It sure is. It looks like he's going to overtake the 4C of Chris Bowman here shortly, although they get harder to pass as you get closer to the front, I realize, but he's got that thing humping tonight. McRae's got that big right rear stuck on the cushion up there, what little of it there is, and he gets a good run off at turn number 2. But Chris Bowman is doing a great job of keeping smooth and holding his line all the way around the racetrack. Look at, here comes a Ford around towards the checkered flag, and the checkered flag's for Darrell Hines. 2nd spot goes to Chris Bowman, who started 4th. 3rd goes to the flying Ford. Actually, Les McRae started 3rd, but gave up some ground early on, but comes back to finish in the top 3. And of course, the car with the top 4.
Total of 5 classes set to come your way. This is the first class of the night, the entry-level V8 class, the Pure Stocks. And we're green, here we go. Keep your eyes on that 64 of Gary Felius out of LaSalle. A new car for him in 2019 here at the Speedway. And the current points leader already making a pass down the back straightaway. And looking forward, seeing 2 rear bumpers and picking which one he wants to go by first. One down, 7 to go on the AIE Communications board as the 64 of Felius picks the bottom side, but gets a little squirrely out of turn number 2 and loses a few car lengths on the 0-0 of Greg Blonsky out of St. Andrews. Monte Carlo in the 2nd spot, chasing down the 56 of Joey Hydrochuck. 2 down, 6 to go in Wissota Pure Stock Heat number 2. Coming up next, Super Trucks. Great battle for 2nd and 3rd place coming out of turn number 4 now. Look at the DG service 64. Try to get by the 0-0. That is certainly a battle. Blonsky sticking on the bottom side of the racetrack, the 64 through the middle, and the pass is now successful. 64 into the second spot. Halfway through, 4 down, 4 to go. Well, the 56 of Hydrachuk, very smooth and consistent. He is your leader so far. Good racing in the top 3. 22 car fourth, that's Ken McGarva from Balmoral, Manitoba, trailing the top 3 just a little bit. And in tow is Riley Beamish, started 5th and is now 5th in the Harvey's number 41. Next time around, just 2 to go. Felius trying to get some traction out of turn number 2. Hydrachuk continually maintains consistency, however, and is keeping that 64 at about 2 car lengths away. White flag is out, 1 to go, the 64 and the 0-0 with one final chance here in your Wissota Pure Stock Heat number 2 event. Blonsky gets a pretty solid drive in the 0-0 off of turn number 2. Closes a bit on the 64, but not enough for the pass. Racing now to the checkered flag. Your winner is going to be the 56, followed by the 64 and the 0-0 of Blonsky. Rounding out the field is the 22, Ken McGarva out of Balmoral, Manitoba, and the 41 of Riley Beamish.
There's a lot of good cars out there. And with that in mind, we're going to turn them loose for exclusive car and truck wash. Chris Bowman on the move in the big heavy Chevy, the number 4. He ducks inside the 24 car. And the 24 slips up and into the path of the 64. 64 cuts to the inside. Now the 4C of Bowman trails the 64 heading into turn 1, but he's got the right rear on that bit of traction there. McRae looking good up front in the number 9, the Santana Kennels Ford. The number 9 of Les McRae out front. And boy, the guys are cranking the wick up behind him, trying to catch him, but so far, he's the class of the field right now, the number 9, the Ford-powered Santana Kennels number 9. Side by side on the back straightaway for 3rd place, the 64 of Felius and the 24 of Chris Thomas. Now that Thomas way up high on the racetrack, up by the concrete wall, he falls to 4th spot. The 56 car of Hydrachuk, he started 1st, he's hanging in there in 2nd spot, but the 64 of Gary Felius closing in quickly. The 57 Chevy retired to the pit area, the number 17. The race for 2nd place is heading into turn number 3. The 56 of Hydrachuk is 2nd. The 64 of Felius coming around the outside up by the concrete wall, looking to make a pass as they head into turn number 1, but Hydrachuk holds on to the number 2 position. Here comes the 64 car again on the inside this time. Hydrachuk hangs on to the number 2 spot for the moment. The 64 of Felius inside and trying it that way, but not this time. Thank you. 41 car also left the field. It's gone into the pit area. Hydrogen continues to roll around at second spot on the 56. Third is the 64, Gary Felius. Fourth right now, the 24, Chris Thomas. And rounding out the top 5 at this point, it is Chris Bowman in the 4C. 6 to go for your leader, the Santana Kennels number 9 of Les McRae. The leader with a half a straightaway on his closest competition, but the race for second, third, fourth, and fifth is a good one. Daryl Heinz in the 42 car, normally up at the front of the pack, and he's having a little trouble tonight for some reason. Four to go. The Flying Ford has got 4 to go. Once again, the white 64 tries between the 56 and the concrete wall, but that concrete wall is pretty intimidating. You don't win many arguments when you get involved with that concrete wall. The field bunching up behind the 56 car as the leader rolls by with 3 to go. The race, look at this race coming out of turn 4. A 4-car race for second through 5th spot. Felius slides up a little bit in the white 64. Chris Thomas in the blue and white 24 gets up alongside him. It looks like they're exchanging paint down the back straightaway. 2 remain, and the race for second, third, fourth, and fifth is heating up. Hydrochuck continues at second spot. Gary Felius in the 64 is third, but look at this. Chris Thomas coming to take and challenge for that number 3 position as the leader takes the white flag. This is the final lap. They start right now. Hydrochuck in the 56 has got a traffic jam going on behind him. Chris Bowman ducks inside the 24 in that orange 4C, orange and white. The winner coming out of turn 4, he will be looking sharp, Les McRae. And who's going to get second? Here it comes for second spot. Wow, the 56 car, Joey Hydrochuck gets second. What a close pack. The 64 gets third, the 24 gets fourth, and the 4 of Chris Bowman rounds out.